Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Here is another episode of the Kraken's Lair Comics, where we are doing, as I promised, my early Daredevil run. For those of you that watched my Christmas video, I recently purchased this from Chris at auction from the We Love Comics channel of Daredevil #1. I to say how happy I am to own this, it's hard to explain. Um, for the very early key Marvel Comics characters, obviously Spider-Man, AF-15, Spider-Man #1, Fantastic Four #1, Hulk #1, X-Men #1. All of these books. Excuse me, I forgot First Appearance of Iron Man, Tales of Suspense 39. All of these books are very, very expensive. Even in a 0.5, a 1.5, they're very expensive. And they should be. I mean, they're rare. They're really old, and finding copies in high grade, it's it's not just like picking the low fruit off the tree. These are really hard to come by, but also they are very expensive. And as I've mentioned like multiple times, I'm a collector of comics, but like I don't have like infinite resources. I'm not spending $10,000 on a comic book. Not saying it's not worth it, or that might not appreciate and make me money down the road. I just don't have the $10,000 to do it. And even if I did, I probably wouldn't, because I've got other goals. My wife and I have other goals. So comparing Spider-Man #1, or Journey in the Mystery 83, or Hulk #1, I got this very happy 1.5 Daredevil #1 for $1,600. And being that some of those other books sort of elude me in terms to price range currently, I think this might be something like I can trade up as a bundle deal maybe down the road. So everybody, here is the comic I got. I mean, it's a 1.5. So I'm like, oh, stress lines, creases, this thing, I am just so happy to have this book. And I will say that, like Chris on the We Love Comics, he did a 4-month payment plan. There was no taxes involved. Obviously, he shipped it great. It got to me in, fine condition. The case wasn't cracked. And I'd actually reached out to him about buying this book during the pandemic, and it was a lot more expensive than what I ended up spending on it. But like, I love this, and I'm talking about like I love his yellow and red suit. I love it. Personal preference. I dig it. I think the all red, I'm the devil thing was like a little bit too obvious, and I love this, and I freaking cherish it. So we'll see how this shows up if I have to pull it out of the plastic. Daredevil #2. Now, for those who may not know, this is actually the second appearance of Electro, who's obviously, his first appearance was in Amazing Spider-Man. Comic book people correct me, 11 maybe, but this is Electro's second appearance. And there is Daredevil number 2. Now, you might be seeing some other comic books in the background. I want to do a follow-up video. Well, maybe not a follow-up. A second video about the key comics I got in 2023. But I did get the Daredevil number 1 in 2023. So, you know, we're going to just go with this. We're going to roll with it. This is a book that my good buddy Chance turned me on to. You can see the massive $3 I spent on this. It reprints the origin and, you know, Daredevil number 1. This is Marvel Superheroes number 1. You can see the date, 1966. Very cool. So, moving past Daredevil number 3. Oh, wait, 2, sorry. Daredevil number 3. This is, you know, probably on similar lines. I mean, you know, a 2, a 2.5. I think I got this for $40 from Mr. Comic Shop that Nostalgic Pod Blast can chime in on. But where I saw these opportunities for these very early Daredevils at affordable prices, I was like, you know, I don't need a 9. I don't need an 8. Like $40, Mr. Comic Shop. I walked out with Daredevil number 3. And it's not like toilet paper. It's not completely ripped up. You know? It's readable. The pages aren't brittle. And I'm happy to have that. So, you got to follow up with Daredevil number 4. I also spent very little on this. Very little. Oh no, there's some creases. Oh no. The Purple Man. I doubt he's going to be showing up in a Marvel Comics movie anytime soon. But it's Daredevil number 4. So, if you extrapolate the sort of story of like, okay, Spider-Man. If you got Spider-Man number 1, 2, 3, 4. How much is that going to cost you? If you got Hulk 1, 2, 3, 4, how much is that going to cost you? Fantastic Four. This one I got from some gentleman, the Mighty Bruce, many years ago. Made contact with him, like, you know, via some sort of like Facebook thing. And this was from his private collection. The colors like really pop. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, so here we will talk about being careful removing your comic books out of the bag and board. As I was so excited to have this, I pulled this comic book out of the bag and board, and the tape stuck on the cover for a split second and pulled that color off. And I'm like, like I just dinged my own book by a 0.05 just by trying to pull it out and look at it. So, comic book collectors, be careful of the tape that is on the bag protecting your books, lest you inadvertently cause damage to. Oh, it makes me sad to look at it. And it was like literally, it wasn't even like pressed firmly. It just like touched it. But this book is from the 60s, and so just it removed the color. And I was like, oh no, what have I done? But that's how it goes sometimes in this hobby. Number 6. Also a find from the Mr. Comic Book Shop that still has an online presence, but they closed their physical doors. The biggest issue here is somebody put something. But overall, I'm very pleased with it. Like, the colors look nice. It's Daredevil in his banana costume. It's number 6. I spent very little on this. Very happy with it. I do not have number 7, which is for, you comic book people out there. The first time where he went to the all red costume. I believe he's fighting Submariner on the cover. I'll get it. My wife and I went on a day trip. Like Conyers, Covington or something. And I found a comic book shop. And I found this. This is Daredevil number 8. Some slight issues. Like, that's probably the biggest one. But the colors are like really nice on this. And who knows, maybe Stiltman will show up in something. That's my earliest ones. So I figure I'd just like we're talking Daredevil, just like show some. First appearance of Elektra. This is really sharp. This is at least an 8. This is really nice. The Beetle. I believe in the Beetle. So he jumped up to Daredevil like 33. Some stuff at the top. Like, once again, most of these, other than the 1 and 2 I'm showing you, most of these are like really, I got them inexpensive. $10, $12, $15. First appearance of Bullseye. I've actually thought multiple times about getting this one graded. Not because, it's a 9.8 or anything. But it is the first appearance of Bullseye. And, I think I could probably get like a 6.5, maybe a 7. Just a random one. Another Mr. Comic Shop. Wish you guys hadn't closed your doors. Yeah, Stress Lines. Number 63. But I love this guy. I love the Gladiator. I love the spinning buzzsaw blades. I really I love the look of them. Very cool. The Beetle again. So, I didn't realize it. I got 2 copies. That's how much I like the Beetle. Wait, here's the follow-up issue. Here's 34. This is probably closer to the 5.0 range. I like the Beetle. I really think they could do something with him. I gotta reach over here. So it's more like random. Like, so here's Daredevil number 11. The all red devil costume. Who is the organizer? I think that was my mom. Number 13. Now, there is some significance about this. I think my understanding is this is the first comic where they introduce the concept of vibranium. Am I saying that right? Captain America's shield and whatever. So it's like Khazar in the Lost World. But I think I'm correct on that. So here's number 13. In Khazar's origin, a small key, but pretty cool to have in your collection. So then I got 15. This one is a little bit rougher. I got a price on that. This is probably like a 3.5. But like, man, I just love these Marvel Silver Age books. They don't have to be all, 9s and 9/8. So, number 18. This is the first appearance of this saucy little guy, the Gladiator. Really like this. I have another copy floating around my collection. I was trying to lay hands on it to see which one was better to show to you guys. But, I'm happy showing this one. Oh, okay, there we go. I spent $25 on it. Roar. And while we're on the subject, I've talked about like going to a comic book shop like when I was like in 7th grade and bringing my good buddy Chance, and we were at the Book Nook, and these are still 2 books original to my collection. And at the time, these were like my earliest Iron Mans. Cry Gladiator, indeed. And these are all pretty nice. Don't know how many owners they passed through before I bought them at the Book Nook, but once again, like, at that time I was like 12 cent, man. Like, and I think like for real, like these were like $2 a piece. So happy to own those. So I gotta reach just like random stuff I found. Original collection where they introduced like the Black Widow. Interesting to note that her hair is not red there. Could have been a coloring issue. This is not the best condition. No big deal. I probably spent like 25 cents, 50 cents. Daredevil 118. Oh, now they got it right. Now they got a red hair. This is an early Bullseye appearance. I'm thinking it's the third. And this is pretty nice. I mean, Bullseye has not really come to the light of day. It's not an expensive book. It's not a valuable book. But if Bullseye hits, these will be the issues that collectors are clamoring for. Got this off the rack when it came out. I'm pretty sure this is the death of Elektra. For me buying it off the rack and having owned it for, I don't even want to do the math. It's not that bad, and off the rack, I spent $1 for it. So we're gonna go back to the Daredevil #1. Just wow. I mean, I think at this point, like, I can really like work on like the run of like the 1 through 10. I'm missing like the 7 or whatever. I really like Daredevil because he was one of those characters that is not super powered. He didn't come from Krypton. He did get hit by gamma rays. He wasn't bit by a radioactive spider. And I don't know, like the fact that the guy was blind, and through being blind, he honed his other senses. I mean, what a relatable character. And I will say, once again, where I think Marvel was very savvy being inclusive. Like, basically, like, here's a major superhero who has a disability and overcame it and became a superhero. And so, yeah, he's got like this agility and stuff, and from his blindness, he's got like this sort of like sense of like radar and stuff. But what a different take on a superhero. And if a part of your readership was struggling with disabilities, whatever they may be, I'm not going to say like particular to blindness, that here's somebody that like they could have identified with. Like, this character speaks for me. Just because I've got this disability doesn't mean that I can't do great things. And so I do think it was like a really cool little concept that hasn't really been embraced fully. The next Netflix show of Daredevil did well, was well received. He showed up in a little cameo of the Spider-Man movie, but I don't think we've seen the last of Daredevil. And I hope not. And I hope maybe, we can see more of his banana suit. So, these other stacks of comics over here is a video I want to do about the top comics I acquired during the last year of 2023. I've seen other people like doing videos about that, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool concept. I don't know if I'm going to do that tonight, but I will do it soon. So, to all my, I think I'm at 93 thank you, everybody. Thank you, every one of my subscribers. I'm so close to 100. Been doing this like for 3 years. Maybe I won't ever get to 100, but I really don't care. I'm not collecting subscribers, but hopefully, you guys like it. Enjoy comics. Enjoy comic book collecting. Buy what you love. Buy what makes you happy. Everybody have a great evening. I'll see you soon.